is to talk you guys through a little bit of design process that went into Arkham City. So we're going to show you a level of the game, show you some little Easter eggs for those of you who played the game and may have missed them, and then after that, we're going to do the world exclusive premiere of Nightwing. Yeah! And not just that, we are going to show you Nightwing in action, then we're going to let some of you guys come up here, play Nightwing, world exclusive again, to win some prizes, which include a collector's edition PS3 copy of Batman Arkham City. Yeah! But first, you're going to have to suffer through my charming northern tones as we talk through a few design decisions. So what we're going to do, how many of you here have played the game? Yeah! So we're going to talk through the early section of the game, to the steel mill section, a little bit of the overworld and kind of how the design process has changed from Arkham Asylum to Arkham City. Noel here from our QA department is going to skillfully play while I jabber on. So we're going to jump straight in. Press F. So we finished Arkham Asylum on about 65 members of staff. We finished Arkham City on about 120. So the game world got 5 times bigger and the studio got twice as big. Now the main reason for that is we're taking on a bigger game. We didn't want to just make this huge, enormous world for the sake of it. Our focus was always on making the most detailed world we can make. So every street was different, every apartment was different, and that meant having an environment team, an artist team that we didn't have the same size before. Those of you who played the game, the big thing with Arkham City is that it's about travelling, it's about exploring the world. So one of the questions one of you are probably going to ask, and we get asked a lot, is why there's no Batmobile in Arkham City. And it's kind of a threefold answer. The first answer we give you is that if we put a Batmobile in the game, it becomes a driving game. And isn't a Batman video game, it becomes, why doesn't your car drive as well as this? Why can't I do that? Second, it's really not practical. If you look at the road below, you're not going to get particularly far trying to drive. And third is that we thought, you know what, it feels cool, but it doesn't feel like Batman. And what feels like Batman is standing on the top of a building with your cape billowing behind you, jumping off the edge and just gliding. So that's what we're going to do here. Yeah, like that. So even the 3D features we have in the game are built from the ground up, because we didn't put 3D in as a kind of afterthought. We thought, what would look cool in 3D? Gliding, building, this incredible city, which is why we have it. Nice. And one of the big changes from Arkham Asylum to Arkham City is that the game has changed. Arkham Asylum was this really intense, claustrophobic cat and mouse situation with Joker, where you felt like he was breathing just here all the time, and that meant by nature that the game felt like you were going down a series of corridors and paths. Arkham City meant we could just kind of blow the roof off it and make it twice as big, but keep that narrative going. And that's because it's open world in the sense that you put the game in, you get past that super secret, super awesome opening section that I'm not going to talk about. But if you haven't played the super secret, super awesome opening section, at the very end of it, look up to the building on your right. You'll see a little Easter egg we put in there for you guys. So you're going to come through the opening to Arkham City, look up. Little tip for you guys. What we did with Arkham City is we said, let's make it you can go wherever you want. Let the story unfold at your own pace. But let's keep the same details from Arkham Asylum. So we've got the GCPD building with a bat signal on the left. We've got Crankco toys. Down here on the right, we've got another little nod for those of you who know your Batman history, the Flying Graysons poster. So that kind of detail, even Gotham City Olympus, if you know your Batman, you know, again, it's all based around history. And that's because we have a great relationship with DC. So we work very closely with them to make sure everything we do fits in with their guidelines and is done with dedication and with love, rather than just for the sake of it. Nice, that was a grapple boost, that was pretty sweet. And the big challenge of Arkham City was that, yeah, we've created this big world, it's enormous, it's exciting to explore, but we need to make sure that players still find cool things to do. So we've got side missions like Zaz and Bane and Calendar Man, and while Noel's here just breaking skulls, we've got a ringing phone on the left hand side that we've picked up, and that's a side connection. If we miss this phone call, it's done. But later on, that phone call will pick up again. And the big change for us, the studio, it was a hell of a challenge, we're not going to lie, was to give players that freedom of choice. You choose whether you want to do these side missions. You can finish the game in 25 hours. Just do all the main story paths. Or you can spend 40 plus hours on it and do everything. And that doesn't include challenge maps, and that doesn't include New Game Plus. But that type of option means it went from a 2-year development to a 3-year development process. Nice. So we've got the phone call now, and Dad is going to be telling us some super cheerful, not at all creepy story. But we kept a lot of the same features in, so we didn't want to make Arkham Asylum 2. We wanted to make an entirely new game, and that's something that we're very proud of. We feel that the review scores we've got have reflected so positively because we worked hard to make it be a game in its own right. So we kept in key features like the free flow combat. But we said, that's not good enough. Let's make it even bigger and even better. Let's put twice the amount of animations of Batman in there. Let's put twice the amount of new tech counters and takedowns. Let's let you use your gadgets in combat without ever losing your combo. Nice. Nice. Let's keep what people know and recognise, but let's beef it up, let's make it that bit more awesome, because that's what a sequel should do, but it means that anybody new to the game can still pick it up and go, man, this combat's pretty awesome, I feel like Batman. And that's kind of our mantra. Everything you do in this game should make you feel like Batman. If you don't feel like Batman when you're doing it, even walking to this door like a badass, that was a slow walk of justice. Then we're not doing our job properly. If you're not flying around feeling like Batman, we're not doing our job properly. And it kind of ties into, like, you gotta feel like Batman, and if you've got a good idea in the studio, put it in the game. Don't put it aside and think, I'll use it for something else. Every single good idea we had is in this game. And that includes bringing back classic characters like Bane.
Hello. Last time I saw you were wrapped around the hood of my car. You knew it would not kill you. I wasn't trying to. I'm in no mood for a fight. What are you doing here?
Dr. Young's Titan formula. The Payaso managed to send some off Arkham Island before you stopped him.
How much more did Joker manage to get off the island?
Too much. That is why I am here. I will not allow the Asura of this city to abuse the Titan. Dr. Young used me to create it. It is my duty to destroy what remains.
I'll help you, but understand this. If you try anything, I'm taking you down too. We find Titan containers, we destroy them. Deal?
Of course. Each container has a radio beacon built in. There were 12 containers left in this city. We take 6 each, then we meet back here.
6 each? Fine. Today isn't a good day to lie to me, babe. Remember that.
From a community point of view, as a development studio, fan feedback has always been really important. As soon as I came in, the first thing I was asked to do was go through all the forums and give all the good and the bad. And we know there was some criticisms of Arkham Asylum. Detective mode that we were told was used too much. Characters like Bane, people wanted to see more of. And the studio absolutely listened. So Bane has now got his entire new side story. And we've given a lot more detail to his character. From the comic books, you guys probably know, he's not just a brute thug. He's got a very smart, very cunning character. And he's back to that in this game. If you stop up here for a second, Noel, and pan left, behind you, Arkham. So we've kept our kind of history nods. That building, that kind of mass back there is Arkham Island. And so you can see Ivy's leaves. And if you are playing the game, that's also an answer to a riddle, which you may or may not have got. Little details like that are what we worked really hard for. The little bit references to comic book characters and to the universe means that it elevates the game from this kind of sequel feeling to, oh my god, if I really want to, I can explore so much and do so much, or I can choose not to do that and still have a great experience.